Let's face it, repeating as Super Bowl champions is a difficult task regardless of the roster. Yet the haters just keep fueling the fire, and the Eagles clearly have the right mindset. However, with a couple questions around some defensive positions and uncertainties still up in the air, I had Brandon Graham on to share why we can chill out a bit and share who he expects to be the next breakout player. So let's get into that, all the latest Eagles news, and everything else around the birds. But first, let's run it. What's up, guys? This goes without saying, but this episode is pretty legit because we got the legend himself, Brandon Graham, on. And on that note, if you want to be entered to win a signed Super Bowl jersey from BG, then all I need you to do is drop a like on this video and then go to the comment section and leave any sort of comment. So good luck to you, and as always, just make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you're entered, and I'll do that in an upcoming live stream. Now, if you can't think of anything to enter in the comments, then let me ask you, what are some of your biggest questions for this Eagles team this season? I mean, if you're like beat writer Dave Zangaro, then he threw out questions for the offense like how will Jalen Hurts handle another new offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach? How will Saquon Barkley fare after a heavy workload last year? Will Jahan Dotson be more involved? And several other questions regarding player positions. Of course, it's understandable that some people have also brought up the fact that the 2023 performance following the Super Bowl or even post-2017 and wondering if a Super Bowl hangover is something to be concerned about this year.
No, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Agreed, because this is not the same team for back then. Sure, they have a difficult schedule and not a single back-to-back home game, along with history suggesting there will be a different NFC East champion since there's been a different one the last 21 years. Plus, that's not to mention the fact that running backs coming off a 2,000-yard season are actually more likely to finish under 1,200 yards rather than above that number. However, all those things mentioned are actually perfect when it comes to the Eagles trying to run this thing back. Because this team starts with QB1 and he's locked in, especially when he's doubted, which has been seemingly every single top 10 quarterback list put together, leaving Hurts off of it. So add that to the fact that he's been getting words of wisdom and advice from guys like Derek Jeter and Michael Jordan this offseason for tips on how to prepare coming off a championship, and good luck to everyone else.
That's all I needed, and it became personal with me.
Just saying, there's a reason why these dudes are putting in even more work than they have in the past. Like, they're pretty much psychos, but just in a good way. Like Devonta Smith echoing the sentiments of the journey being better than the destination, and A.J. Brown sharing that it's the memories that really last forever, and he's doing whatever it takes to get back there for number 2. Also, kudos to Nick Sirianni for his message regarding the hype and praise being compared to perfume, because that is spot on. With the head coach saying, sniff it, but don't drink it because it's poison.
Don't drink that. Trust me.
Look, I gave Sirianni some flack last season, especially the jokes of what does he really do here, but ultimately I think we're really seeing that there is a bigger part that he plays and really doesn't get enough credit for. I mean, say what you will, but judging by the fella's recent comments and interviews, they're taking that insight along with what they've learned in the past.
We had a great, time in OTAs, and I felt like we had a good time to reflect and then, realize what's ahead of us and get ready for the season, but really to try to get our mentality right and realize that it's going to be, a hard road ahead.
So the experience of defending a title beforehand, how does that frame your reference for the 2025 season, Lane?
Yeah, I mean, we got to experience a really rough start to 18 and ended up getting to the playoffs. But I think what we realize is that we will get every team's best week in and week out. They can't wait to play the Super Bowl champions from the year before to make a statement. So, that's what I realized in 2018, and I don't want to make the same mistakes as I did then. So hopefully learn from them. I think I would say to not get complacent. I think complacency and being satisfied can really distract you mentally, and then it can really hurt your performance. And so you're playing to not lose rather than being focused and taking it one play at a time.
Without a doubt, they're going to get every team's best shot, but like I mentioned in a recent live stream, experience is the best teacher, and this team has been battle-tested. Granted, injuries always play a factor in that as well, but look at this roster and nearly all of the spots have significant depth, even if we were to suffer a setback. Just want to point out here, I said nearly all the spots. It is my personal opinion that we end up adding some safety depth, but we'll see. Yet when it comes to the O-line, there might be too much depth. Heck, it's why I struggled on who all to put on my 53-man roster projection and who to leave off. Although when it comes to swing tackle, I think Kendall Lamm is invaluable to this squad. Like, think about it. Fred Johnson ended up playing 481 snaps last season while starting 4 games at left tackle and 1 game at right tackle. Okay, fine. In fairness, it's not like he was a lockdown stonewall, but he at least held up well enough when Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson got injured. So now Lamm, as a guy who's played in 119 games with 44 starts, should provide the kind of experience and talent needed if Philly ever has to use him. Remember, he ranked first among tackles with 0 sacks allowed and ranked 10th among tackles with a pass blocking grade of 83.1. Anyway, while we're on the topic of Lamm, I did want to clear up any confusion regarding his stance with the Philly culture compared to the Miami one and some fake news and everything else. Since in a recent video, I shared a quote from an Eagles beat writer that was attributed to ESPN giving praise to the Birds' locker room while throwing shade at Miami. However, according to Lamm, that quote was entirely made up and he never said it.
So I keep getting sent this article, apparently, that someone has said that I've slammed Dolphins culture and all that stuff. One, I don't remember talking to anyone or any reporter about anything that we really dealt with Miami, with the Dolphins. Two, I was never raised that way to sit there and comment on certain things as far as culture and everything else within the locker room. Three, I have no animosity or no ill will or bad intentions towards Miami or anybody down there whatsoever. I enjoyed my time in Miami, and it'll be near and dear to me forever. So when it comes to this article that I'm being sent, or this article that's been published, unless I just completely forgot doing this, I had to be misconstrued or taken out of context, because I have nothing but the utmost respect for everyone in Miami.
Look, I never want to put words in someone's mouth or start anything, so at least here you're hearing it from the source. He claims that he never said it. I hear you though, and I've seen some recent comments. It's not like that'd be totally ridiculous to think that the Philly way is a better environment than it was in Miami. After all, even though Lamm didn't say it, the Dolphins did run Vic Fangio out of town, or at the very least weren't upset about his departure due to his old school coaching methods being too tough.
Have you ever looked into his eyes?
We joke about it, but there's also some merit to players being willing to be coached and really to get better at all costs. Like my guy Nolan said.
Hey, shout out to Vic Fangio, man. That man, I know he old, but man, he got so much knowledge left in there, and I can't wait to just take it from him and just take all the knowledge that he could give to the game, man. He's an amazing coach.
It's no wonder Fangio says Nolan plays the game the right way, but keeping it real here, if the Eagles are going to repeat as Super Bowl champions, the defense is absolutely going to have to show out. Yet for those questioning if there's enough depth on the edge or how will Philly replace Milton Williams, along with all kinds of other uncertainties regarding injuries and the defense, I had BG on to share why that defense could be even scarier this season.
First off, I got to start at just say congratulations and thank you and probably a million other things that I could say, because for you and what you've meant to the Eagles, to Philadelphia, on and off the field is absolutely crazy. But I got to ask too, because playing in the Super Bowl, I know that we got the reports out, you sharing it, of the tricep injury. When you injured your tricep against the Rams, I believe in November, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Like my initial thought, and a lot of people, I think, is just like, that's it. Like, this cannot be the way that you go out. And then to rehab, get ready for the Super Bowl, be able to play in that game. What was it like to play with a triceps injury? I mean, how many weeks were we talking about? Was it like 12 weeks or something that you were back at it?
Yeah, back in it, man. Really 2.5 months. Not even 12. If it was 12, I probably wouldn't have toured again. But
Yeah.
it wasn't ready. It just was more of me just having that will to go out there and play, man. I said my prayers. Prayers was answered to get out there with my jersey on and to finish that last game, because I knew it was gonna be some back and forth with me and the team on, man, you should go ahead and go out on top, even if I didn't play. So I wanted to make sure that I at least tried to get out there, put that uniform on, and even though I toured again, it was well worth it.
Man, it was. We got the dub, got the championship, the second trophy. And I'm curious because, a lot of people have not players have been through that and winning both of those, but you have the ability to kind of reflect and compare the two. I'm not necessarily asking of which one is better because, they're both championships and whatnot, but I'm curious, how was this second Super Bowl different than the first one? Is there a good way that you could describe just the differences of what those felt like?
Well, you know what? It felt a little different in this one because we owed Kansas City too, because we lost one in Arizona. I was finally trying to get there against Brady. And I guess for everybody that was in Atlanta the year before, I guess that was another one where they was like, man, hope Philly win because they got us last year, and so I just didn't feel that feel that hurt like they did the first time around. But this second time around, I felt the hurt from the one we lost before, and man, I wanted to make sure that we went out right, and them boys went out there and they played their butt off, and I was so happy just to be a part of it and be in there.
Yeah, giving it to Kansas City. They deserved it, especially after, like you say, 2023.
Hmm.
That was a tough pill to swallow, but being able
Oh,
to
that was
right the
tough.
ship, get it done on this one, heck yeah, we will absolutely take that. Now,
Yep.
you've obviously, again, 2017 coming off the Super Bowl, being a part of it's incredibly difficult, as I think everybody knows, to come off the Super Bowl, try to repeat that success or even be close to what you were the previous year. Sometimes you lose players. It's the keeping the hungry dog mentality, whatever it is, but fighting that or keeping that. Is there any words of wisdoms that you have shared with the players? And I guess curious also myself of, is there something that you could pinpoint and say, like, that is the most difficult part of trying to repeat or trying to keep up that level of competition that you had the previous year?
I think it's really about having those boundaries with a lot of people that's wanting access to you now that you've won. Because you get so many people hitting you up, hey man, can you do this? Can you do that? And then you kind of forget, oh man, let me make sure I'm working out. Let me make sure I'm in shape because the season is more important than all these different things that's happening. Because when you start losing, then you don't get these opportunities. So you gotta make sure that you stay focused on the main thing, and that's working out, doing what you're supposed to do on the football field because that's what got you this opportunity to get all with all these people that's hitting you up. But you got to be able to have a refocus, and I think the hardest part is just making sure that you guys everybody has a refocus and don't let the outside world kind of make you make an excuse of like, well, we won, we can do it again, I'm gonna be ready when it comes. It's like, no, I had that same type of energy that you put into last year, going into this year. If anything, it should make you hungrier because you're like, man, we got an opportunity, a window right now with almost the same team, and we got to go out there and we got to repeat it, and you can't get bored with it. And I think that if you had that, and the coaches have a good message for this year because this team is a new team regardless if we have majority of the guys, but we do got a bunch of new guys too that has to believe in our dream. And so our daily walk has to happen now while they training in the off season. You got to trust that the guys gonna come back. So really it's all about the focus, man. It's about the discipline you got to have, and you can't let the outside world take away what it is, the main thing, and that's working out and making sure you're getting ready to build that togetherness with the team.
I love that. I know there's an Eagles clip recently the social media team released, I think, of Sirianni mentioning or kind of referencing similar things like sniff it, don't drink it. Like, let's not get fully ingrained into the, people overhyping because I'm probably guilty of it as much as anybody else being the Eagles super fan and just putting it out there. It's like, yeah, the team, the hype and everything else, which maybe, being a fan, we have the luxury of doing that. But like you say, like keep the internal things together with the team and being like, look, it's fine to a certain extent, but you got to stay dedicated, working at the craft. I got to just say kudos to Nick Sirianni for the message and everything else. But what did you see throughout last year? I know that that it was the bye week and the sky is falling and hearing lots of noise from everybody else. Once that point, but after that it was, I believe, 16 of 17 games won. The team stayed strong and it felt like they got even closer, but being a part of that locker room and everything else, what did you see from Sirianni? Was there any changes or evolving within the group as the season went on?
No, I really just seen him just staying consistent with his message, regardless of when it was 2-2. We came back from the bye week. His message still was the same. It's about the details, the togetherness, just our daily habits of what we do, and his daily messages. It just didn't change, and I don't see it changing even more this year because it's all about those details. It's all about being disciplined. It's all about family being together for a bigger than you cause, and a lot of guys have to believe that, and I feel like we have done that over the years, and especially when Nick has been here, and he's only gotten better. So as long as Nick stay being who he is like he was last year, and that's just the consistency of his message. And don't let the outside noise just try to change him because they try to get him out of here as much as they tried to last year. But he stayed consistent, and that's all he got to do this year is stay consistent because that's what helped us in a big way.
100% it did. Yep. I think about the "you can't be great without the greatness of others" quote. Just the consistent message, like you're talking about.
Yep.
I love it, man. And again, appreciate you coming on because I could talk to you for hours of just Eagles memories, thoughts, team news, just everything. And I'm sure that, like me, a lot of people would really enjoy to do that. But the exciting part is there's a great opportunity that people have to potentially do that, courtesy of Crooked T. Can you tell us a little bit more about the partnership there and how someone might be able to take advantage of that?
T, I got introduced to Dahani Jones and Ben Weiss. He was the owner of Buy Drinks and Beverage, and he sold his company and he wanted to start a new brand, and it's called Crooked Tea. And Philly was his first stop, and my name got brought up, and man, it's been so cool. But just learning a lot from Ben because Ben just has a lot of wisdom and just want to be able to have great partners. And we came up with a drink. Zero sugar, zero carbs, gluten free, best for you, taste. Just wanted to have. I'm on my health and wellness, and man, we just trying to take sugar off the streets. And most of the stuff you're drinking sometimes don't even have the labels on it to let you know what's all in it. And we want to have something cleaner, 80 calories. I just want to feel good about what I'm drinking. And so Crooked Tea was started, and how people can get involved is we have a barbecue pull up. Me myself will be able to pull up to whoever has the best video about trying Crooked Tea, why you love Brandon Graham, and you send in the video, and we look at all of them, and then we pick the best one, and then we show up to your barbecue where everybody will be, and man, it's gonna be hype. And so that's it. It'll be on social media, my social media on Instagram, at sack_55. Just go check it out. We'll keep you updated.
Let's go. That yeah, like I say, I may be trying to get in on that. That I don't fully for the greater Philly area. I know there's specific rules, like you say. And I've got a link in the description for people that are curious. Like, hey, wait, how do I exactly? Like BG said, link in the description. There's also the QR code that you see. You can scan that. That one works. But yes, good luck to you. A little shameless plug. If you win, I would love to be a part for if the winner is watching the show. But that's a little selfish thing. There's selfish thing.
Everybody pull up to the barbecue. Come get you some good food and
hey,
CBG and some Crooked Tea.
Yes, yeah. BG's gonna be there. So, but again, thank you to Crooked Tea, like you said. Very exciting. I personally enjoy that too, is because I've been trying to cut sugar myself. So trying to be healthier, and as you say, sometimes you don't know what is in the drinks or the food that we're eating. So kudos to you guys there. The players, I would imagine, are probably doing the same thing if they haven't already, because it's the 1 month-ish time until or before training camp. And I believe Sirianni's yearly message is come in the best shape of your life. So with that being the case, training camp July 22nd. I believe the first practice is July 23rd. I'm curious to get your take. Do you have any specific guys out there that you're keeping an eye on that we should be keeping an eye on as far as like you expect them to take that next jump? Because credit to you, and I'm self-proclaimed Nolan Smith, biggest Nolan Smith fan in the world. But when you came on the show last offseason, I kind of asked you the same thing. You're like, watch out for Nolan. Like, people are doubting it, but watch out for Nolan. And what happened? Nolan took off. He's the franchise leader, most sacks in a single postseason. So maybe putting you on the spot a little bit, but any other different name that you have out there?
Well, you got Nolan for sure. Jalen Carter, I want to see him become even a more monster. Zack Baun, now that he done got paid. I mean, it's mostly defensive guys. I want to see the corners take that next step in their career as far as Coop and Q, and then see who's playing on the other side of Q and Coop. Hopefully, it's Kelee. And Kelee take that spot, and it's his for good. And man, you just go out there and just stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. But most of the guys on defense, because I mean, we got a lot of the guys on offense that's gonna take it already to that next level. But I want to see how on defense, now that we lost a lot of guys, people step up. And Moral Ojamo, him too. I want to see him step up in a big way because it's him and Jordan Davis and rotating, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I really can't see all of them for real.
Big Mo, come on now.
Mhm.
Hey, congratulations to Milton Williams, by the way, who got the massive bag to go to New England.
Yes.
Well deserved. I got to ask, though, what is it like playing with Jalen Carter? Because you mentioned Moro Jomo for sure, Jordan Davis. Life seems, outsider looking in, but what JC does, the bread man seems to make life a lot easier for whoever's playing next to him.
Oh yeah, man, and you know what? It's all about playing together, as you know, on the D line. I mean, we can't be great without the greatness of others, and that's the true statement on our line. Because one guy out this gap, there it is, home run, or one guy miss not being in the area they supposed to be, collapse in the pocket while the ends coming up field. Then most of the time the quarterbacks can step up. You got to have it's everything that goes together. We got to make sure that even when JC getting through the middle, we contain the outside so the quarterback don't have nowhere to go. It's all about being together, and I think he makes it so much easier because he's a big guy already. He's already taken two or three guys, so all I got to do is win my one-on-one. And when I win my one-on-one, we got to make sure that we all collapse the pocket together. And man, I'm telling you, JC just makes it so much easier because he's athletic and he can move. And he's taking two guys, like I said, two to three guys every play. So you get a chance to get a one-on-one with your guy, and you gotta win.
Every time I think of Jalen Carter, I immediately go to the Rams playoff game and the sack of Stafford, and the very next play getting the pressure. I'm like, man, and whatever those were, like snap 69 and 7 or something, really high amount of snaps, right? And to be able to do that late, so I'm like, yeah, a little scary thought, taking another jump. But
Yep.
as you mentioned too, it can't be great without the greatness of others. Having the focus of Jalen Carter of the opposing offensive line, a lot of one-on-one opportunities potentially for the edges in Nolan Smith and Jalyx Hunt. Obviously, like we were mentioning, your relationship with Nolan Smith, I've gotten to talk to him a number of times as well. But I'm also curious, Jalyx Hunt now, year 2 going in, had a great rookie year, played well in the
Yep.
Super Bowl. What are you expected from Jalyx Hunt to take the next step in year 2? I mean, potentially he's the starter, but what are you expecting from him?
Well, I'm expecting him to take that starting role and never look back. But it's not going to be easy. You got to go out there and you got to prove it every day. And I think he would do that. He already looking good, looking stronger, look bigger. From just trying to gain muscle, and I think he's doing it the right way. It's just all about making sure that you are available when it's time, and making sure that you working hard every day in practice. And once I see that, then you can really tell because it's a daily walk, man. Everybody can look good in the beginning in OTAs. Everybody come in looking all good, but when you get hit in the mouth a little bit, and now that you're the starter, you're getting cussed out a little more because now is nobody else you can run to because you are the guy. And so I just want him to continue to just keep being great. Don't drink that. What was it? Perfume. That's what he say. The cologne.
Hmm.
He's like sniff it, but don't drink it because it's poison. And so, I feel like for him, he got to make sure that he ain't drinking that success from last year because it ain't gonna carry you into this year. It's a great thing to keep that chip on your shoulder though, because now you got somewhere else to aspire to get that next one. And but you got to have a refocus, and you can't think that what you did last year is gonna get you even more this year. But you got to make sure that you stay focused, and I think he will. And I can't wait to see him.
There we go. Maybe Jalyx shouldn't watch the YouTube channel here then as much because I've done a lot of hype videos over Jalyx Hunt. So I might not be helping anything there, but we are very excited about Jalyx. A
Yep,
couple
me
more
too.
just real quick because I know I'm taking your time and I very much appreciate it. But Jalyx and Nolan Smith both mentioned Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata, but Lane Johnson came up first as like, yeah, you go up against him day in and day out in practice. No duh, you're going to get better. Like Jalyx, he was saying, like as a rookie, I can't get closer than 4 feet to the quarterback. You got to figure something out. Like if Lane's beating you that way. But I think also the better part of the part that I took away that's like, that is like invaluable experience, but also to be able to get the leadership from Lane is Lane's presence and coming over and be like, hey, you should try this, or hey, this should be different. And then especially in joint practices where it's like, oh, hold on. Now Lane can watch and see a weakness potentially in another opposing tackle and say, hey, try this. And so Nolan and Jalyx both mentioning that was fascinating to me. But I would love to hear your experience because obviously, you were with Lane for a number of years. How big of a deal is that to have the best right tackle in football and to kind of bounce ideas off of to help improve really both of your game?
Oh, it's great because you're not gonna see that same type of person every week. You might get somebody that's close to it, that's up and coming, that's looking good, that's doing good, but it ain't Lane. And man, when you can bounce ideas and different little tricks that give him stuff to think about, then you everybody's not gonna be like Lane. So if Lane give you some good pointers on what causes him trouble, I'm gonna try to keep mastering what causes him trouble, so that I can cause trouble for everybody else that ain't as good as Lane.
Makes it a little bit easier, like you say. You go up against that type of quality talent in practice, and you're like, this is not as difficult a little bit. So, you practice a little bit harder, works out for you. Well, very excited to see that. You mentioned, I believe, at the Fanatics Fest, which was in New York very recently, not really a surprise, but you would like to be a part of the team, I think in some capacity, maybe a team ambassador or something like that, a little bit of a joke maybe, but also to be around the Eagles. We've seen a number of players that have done that. I mean, Connor Barwin, Matt Leo, others in the past. But is there a specific role that you would prefer that you I don't know, just in an ideal scenario, be like, I would prefer that type of a position, or have you gotten that far yet in terms of your thinking process?
I think I have gotten that far. It would definitely be in the player development role because I mean I really do love seeing guys take their next leap in their career, and to have those like we call it with Ben call it basement mentality. The one where you're in the basement, you head down, you working, nobody sees, nobody's looking for you, nobody's calling your name and nothing like that. But then next thing you know, this year come by and bam, you hit the scene. And now everybody want a piece of you. Everybody know now. But what you've been doing in the basement, nobody's seen, nobody knows, only you and God. And went out there and you worked hard. And that's what I like, man. I like the player development side where I want to help guys that people ain't looking for. And then next thing you know, when they pop on the scene, man, this guy came out of nowhere. This was like a Zack Baun who came in as a special teams guy in everybody's mind, but then he ended up being a key piece of why the offense why the defense was out there balling, and he got us lined up, got us ready to go, and man, it was fun to watch just to see his growth in this year.
Man, I love that. Yeah, definitely with you being around the team, I could certainly see that being a very good role. I got a kick out of, I think it might have been in one of the press conferences, maybe the retirement press conference, but you said something to the effect of like, oh yeah, if I'm still around, I'll be chirping. Like, that'll be happening, but I just can't go out there and do that. So I'll get Nolan to back me up for it, Nolan to go do my bidding. I was like, yeah, let's go. So Nolan's like, all right, we're here.
I get them all riled up, and then you just go sick them for me. Sick them for me.
Yep. That's the best way to do it there.
About me.
I love it. That is awesome. Well, like you said, though, as far as the team itself, we are very hyped about it. But for the players themselves, the perfume, sniff it, don't drink it because it's poison. But if you're looking for something else to drink a Crooked Tea because, again, BG partnering up there. If you want him to show up to your barbecue pull-up, you just got to be able to follow the rules. Link in the description, scan the QR code, send in that video. If you need any tips or pointers, and again, like I said, selfishly, if you want to invite me out there, I'd love to. Is there a limit by the if someone wins this thing, are they going to hear from you, or how do they get alerted for this?
They'll hear from us. They'll hear from my team, and then they'll see me. They'll see me when I pull up to their barbecue. So make sure the video good. We just want you to stand out, and actually, we really want you to try the tea because it's really good, and just want you to, put your best foot forward in this video so that we can pop up at your spot.
There we go. Heck yeah. Oh, by the way, real quick, do you have a favorite flavor? I think gotta go with raspberry, but I know they got lemon, peach, and raspberry.
I'm a peach.
Okay.
I like peach.
Go.
Peach is really good.
You can't go wrong, honestly, but I prefer raspberry, so that'd be my go-to. Well, cool. Well, BG, again, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're crazy busy. You may be retired from the NFL, but as much as I've seen you on interviews and pressers and what you're doing here with Crooked T and all the other, it feels like you're busier than you were beforehand. So just to take some time here means a ton. Best of luck to you. I can't wait until you get the official role. We get the news with the Eagles organization, because it feels like it's only a matter of time. But a blast as always for you coming on, and best of luck to you.
Yep, go Birds, baby.
Go Birds.